Here is a quick summary of conquering stage fear. All the things that we learned in all the modules in this program. We started off asking the question whether it is possible to conquer stage fear, and my resounding, big, bold, absolute answer is yes. You can get over your stage fear. You can learn to manage it, minimize it, and get over it. If there are going to be butterflies in your stomach, you might as well have them fly in a formation. One of the best things you can do as you're practicing is to visualize, to bring your audience in front of your eyes. And that will make it easier once you get onto the real stage. So visualize even as you're practicing in the comfort of your home or your office. On the day of the speech, arrive early. Get to the room early so that you get a feel for the lay of the land. You can get onto the stage and familiarize yourself with the stage. How does the view look like from the stage? Visualize yourself speaking from the stage, looking at the audience. And as the audience start coming in, go ahead and greet them, get to know them. And that will help you later once you start connecting as part of your speech. You need somebody in the audience that you can relate to, and here is when you establish the rapport. The biggest thing to remember is the audience is not your jury. They are not there to judge you. They are there to cheer for you because you are going to teach them something and they are there to learn. So they are not jury. They are your friends. They are there to cheer you. They are investing in your success. And then we went on to learn the two big techniques that I use as part of my experience in getting over the fear, the anxiety in the first few moments. One of them is to take time. The moment you show up on stage, take time. Take 10 full seconds if need be. You can do belly breathing. I do belly breathing. 10 seconds. If you're not comfortable standing there, start pretending like you are shuffling some papers. What I do is I scan the room from left to right and right to left. Take the time. There's nobody compelling you to speak immediately. So this is key. The second technique that we learned is to remember that this experience of speaking is not about you. It's not you. Your focus is on them, the audience. You are there to serve them. You are there to teach them. And you are going to focus on them. Take the focus away from you. One of the bigger techniques, one of the best techniques that you can ever learn to manage your fear is to remember to hold a conversation with the audience. The audience is a group of individuals. Now, how comfortable are you in having a one-on-one conversation, even with one of the people in the audience? And what do you do as part of the one-on-one conversation? You are dynamic, you are animated, you gesture, you joke, you engage in a real conversation. So if you can replicate that, if you can learn to hold on a one-on-one conversation and replicate that across a group, then you have your magic pill towards getting over the fear of public speaking. So identify one person in the crowd. Focus on that person. Have a dialogue with that person. And once you are comfortable, move on to the next person. Now, in the process of doing all this, as you practice and you deliver speeches, it is important to get feedback from people that you trust. People who will tell you for real what you're doing right and the opportunities that are there in your speeches. So feedback is a powerful mechanism to get better in your public speaking and to get over your speech. So here is why I say that. It's because there are things that you think are a problem, that you think are impeding your process of becoming a great speaker, but the observer, the person giving you the feedback, may not think so. What you think are your problems may not be your real problems. There could be something entirely different, or there may not be any problems at all. The other thing we learned about is how to get approvals, how to get head nods from people. Audience approval is one of your best ways to keep the audience engaged and in the process minimize your anxiety. So every time they approve, you know that what you're saying is getting to them and you're doing a good job as a speaker. So head nods could be either voluntary, meaning you are doing a good job already and people are acknowledging it by nodding their heads, by smiling, or you can also stimulate a head nod by prompting the audience. You can ask questions like, is that clear? How many of you, etc., etc., etc. What we call the body poll. And as you are scanning the room, if you think somebody is not very clear, they don't seem to understand what you're saying, then you go on to clarify, to rephrase, to give examples. So that way, you can address that person's concern. The frown on the face can quickly be turned into an engaging, acknowledging, approving audience. Now, is there a silver bullet? Yes, there is a silver bullet, and it is not the magic pill that you are thinking of. The silver bullet is to go ahead and give as many real speeches as possible. See, practice speeches are great. The speeches that you do in the confines of your home is really good. You need that. But the test of fire happens when you stand in front of a crowd and start speaking in front of them. So the more you do, the more you get used to the stage, the more you get used to standing in front of an audience and learn to manage the anxiety and the fear. Then we went on to learn the don'ts. There are some big ones. The biggest one being never ever memorize the speech word for word. Because if you happen to forget one word or one sentence while you are on stage, to recover from that becomes very difficult. Then we learned about the no alcohol rule, the no caffeine rule. I mean, if you are used to having coffee and still being able to speak without any jitters, there's no problem. Then we learned about how to avoid drawing attention to your hands. Because if your hands are going to be shivering and trembling, you don't want your audience to be seeing that. So during the process, if you have to take a sip of water, or if you have to put your papers down on the lectern or the podium, you should do that to draw the attention away from your hands. So there are many, many such techniques. Not one of them is going to work, but a combination of them will work for anybody in any situation. Of course, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen. You take the course today, tomorrow morning, you're not going to get rid of all your anxiety and your fear. It's going to take very conscious, very constant practice over and over and over before you become perfect, a great speaker, one that can speak confidently and without any anxiety. And wishing you the very best in your public speaking experience. Go for it. You can do it.